Welcome back. In our top business story, developer Nakheel, Dubai World's property arm, will issue a $1.6 billion Islamic bond to trade creditors by August 25th. Its chairman Ali Rashid Lota told a local newspaper today. Nakheel has offered trade creditors repayment of 40% cash and the remaining 60% in the form of an Islamic bond. This sukuk was initially planned to be issued in June, but administrative issues delayed the process, the company said then. Lota now said the firm, which built the Palm Jumeirah, has completed all administrative and accounting measures related to the sukuk's issuance. Deutsche Bank will manage the bond issue and will take place over 2 to 3 months, he added. Abu Dhabi national energy company TAQA more than doubled its second quarter net profit, helped by high oil prices and increased production, especially in the UK. That took analysts by surprise, as they had expected 250 million dirhams in net profits. But in fact, TAQA managed to earn 435 million dirhams. Revenue from oil and gas rose over 50% to 3.1 billion dirhams. TAQA, which is majority owned by the Abu Dhabi government, said in a statement to the ADX today. Total revenue for the second quarter stood at 7.1 billion dirhams. That's a plus of 38%. Reason being that oil prices have risen significantly in Q2 from a year ago. General Motors, the world's #1 automaker, expects its sales in the Middle East to grow 22% this year, on stronger demand especially from the Gulf countries. The Middle East is a very compelling opportunity for us, John Stadwick, managing director of GM Middle East, told Bloomberg in an interview. GM sales in the region, the company's 7th largest market globally, rose 6% last year to over 123,000 cars, Stadwick said, and could rise 55% by 2020. With that, the Middle East has the largest growth potential for GM over the next 10 years, outside Brazil, Russia, India and China. And let's now look at the UAE and GCC stock markets. And in our world business news, after its policy meeting yesterday, the US Federal Reserve eased market tensions by saying rates will stay at record lows until at least mid-2013. Also, the Fed left the door open for a third round of quantitative easing. The Fed sees the economic outlook getting worse, as economic growth so far this year has been considerably lower than expected. Wall Street reacted positively on the news, and consequently also in Asia and Europe, investors bought into shares again. Meanwhile, over in Europe, French President Nicolas Sarkozy called in a crisis meeting to assess France's economic and financial situation. Reason being that the country's borrowing costs are the highest among all 14 nations worldwide rated with a AAA, as investors raise bets that France will be the next in line to lose its top-notch rating by S&P, something investors believe will keep recent market jitters in place.
I guess the high level of uncertainty will be the item of the next couple of days, maybe weeks. I guess very important is that politics is able to find solution for the debt crisis and for economic perspectives. Right now in America and in the Eurozone, I find no clear solution for all the problems we are facing each day.
China's exports hit a record high in July as shipments to Europe and the United States proved surprisingly buoyant, reducing fears that debt problems abroad may hold back the world's #2 economy. July exports rose 20% from a year ago, the strongest gain since April, while imports rose 23% in July from a year earlier, the General Administration of Customs said. However, economists warned it was too early to declare that the Chinese trade surplus can hold up in coming months. After all, also sluggish consumer spending and now extremely volatile financial markets plague China's 2 biggest customers. Therefore, imports and exports are expected to grow at a slower pace in coming months, as China's trade sector is still facing great uncertainties. Apple scored another big victory in its battle against Samsung Electronics after the Korean firm was stopped from selling its latest tablet computer in the EU. Apple has sued Samsung in multiple countries, also in the US, accusing it of slavishly copying its iPhone and iPad. Samsung, however, denies the charges and has countersued. Analysts forecast the court decision to temporarily hurt Samsung sales. Shares of Asia's largest technology firm therefore closed lower today, and this also weighed on South Korea's Kospi, which only rose 0.3% today. Speaking of stocks, Apple yesterday was for a short while the world's most valuable stock-listed company, after briefly overtaking number one oil company ExxonMobil. Before we go, here's a quick overview of the oil, precious metals and currency markets, and after that we have the day's sports news for you.